Hello! Hello again. It is so good to see you. And it's another time of Dwell Youth Ministry live on Instagram and YouTube. It is so good to be with you here, and I am glad you are here as well, for you are welcome here. This is the Dwell Youth Ministry, which is a youth ministry of First Congregational United Church of Christ in Colorado Springs. And we're here on this cold December day, trying to stay warm here in the dwelling place. And I'm just excited to be here and to talk about what we're going to talk about tonight. Like I said, you are welcome here. No matter who you love, no matter what you believe, no matter what you've done, no matter who you are welcome here. Like, fully welcome. You are welcome here. And I want you to be here because I like you just the way you are. There's nothing you have to change to come here. There's nothing you have to do to come here. You are simply welcome to dwell here with us. A couple of announcements. There will be a couple more weeks of this in December. So next Wednesday and then the Wednesday after that, we'll be gathering here on Instagram and YouTube to talk about some issues that are facing us. And then we're going to take a couple weeks off to kind of rest at the end of this year, at the end of this crazy year. 2020 has been a trip for a lot of us. And if you're anything like me, you are looking forward to 2021, which I'm excited about. But before we get into tonight's subject, which is about Advent and waiting, I wanted us to take a moment to pause, to slow down, and to breathe, because life is hectic. If you pay attention to social media or the news or your own brain, it can feel like there's a lot that's happening right now. And so I think it's important for us to slow down and to breathe, because this is a lot. We're going through a lot. So for just maybe a minute, we're just going to breathe together. We're just going to slow down and practice the presence of silence. Okay? All right, let's go. Isn't it good to just pause for a moment? Isn't it good to simply slow down and enter into this moment? Not our worries about the future, not our concerns about the past, but this moment. Because there is only ever this moment right now. And we get to be here together. Even in this digital space, we are here together. I look forward to the day when we can gather in person. That's going to be a really good day. But for now, we're going to stay safe. We're going to be cautious and be wise in order to, hey Matt, good to see you, um, in order to be as safe as possible. Because it's important in this moment, even though it is stressful and we want to be with a lot of friends and a lot of people, we need to be smart and we need to be safe. So that's why we're here in this digital space together. Um, we have entered into this season of Advent. This past Sunday, actually, is was the first Sunday of Advent, and Advent is it's a season of waiting, of building anticipation for what? For Christmas. Which Christmas is amazing. I love Christmas. It is my favorite season of the year. I love the decorations. I love the lights. I love the music. I love everything about Christmas besides the cold that comes with it. And it is cold today. My hands are chilled right now. Um, and so I'm not a fan of that, but I love Christmas and I love Advent. Um, Everything about it is just amazing. Christmas is this grand celebration of, well, let's talk about that in a couple of weeks. Christmas isn't just about baby Jesus. There's some really cool things to talk about for why Christmas is such a big deal and what is so important about it. So we're going to talk about that in a couple of weeks. Because right now we're only in Advent, which is a season of waiting for Christmas. It's not Christmas itself. It is a season of waiting. Um, and waiting it's hard. It's really hard. Perhaps when you were younger, if you were like me, you remember it being the hardest thing to wait for Christmas morning to open those presents. Perhaps also like me, you searched around your house for various things, trying to find some presents. And I know I tried, and I was never successful. I never found a single gift for me, um, which is impressive. But it was so hard to wait because I loved Christmas so much and I looked forward so much to something. But I was forced to be in this moment of waiting. Even though I knew Christmas was coming, it didn't help the pain of being forced to wait. Perhaps knowing that it was coming made it even worse. I don't know. And then what about what we're doing now? We're all living through this pandemic, unable to live life like we once did. I think what's worse about what's going on with COVID 19 is that we're waiting for life to return to normal, or at least some level of normalcy. But what's worse about it is that we don't know when that's going to come. We have no idea when normal is going to happen. And that's hard. Yeah, the anticipation. Thanks, Matt. There's no set end dates for COVID 19. We're all stuck in this moment where we have to wear masks. We're in pain because we want to be with friends. We want to go out to eat. We want to go to a store. We want to go to school like normal, and we can't. The world has changed around us because of this virus that is running rampant through our communities. It's affected more people than we thought it would. It's killed more people than we thought it would. This is traumatizing in every sense of the word. We are experiencing a prolonged trauma on a collective level, on a scale that is unheard of previously. Waiting for this to end is hard. Waiting for numbers to go down, or for a vaccine to come out, or for really any good news whatsoever when it comes to COVID-19 is hard. Which is why I think Advent is so important. It's a season that reminds us that waiting is inevitable and it is perfectly possible to survive. We can make it through waiting, even though it's hard. Think about it. We learn the most when we're in moments of tension. We learn more about ourselves when we suffer than when we don't. We learn more on not on the mountaintop, but in the valley, meaning we learn when we hurt, which isn't fun, and we learn when there is tension. Tension and suffering is our greatest teacher. It's not great. I don't like suffering, but I do get to learn about myself and about the world around me and about you in how we wait and how we suffer. Even though it sucks, moments like this when we are suffering through a pandemic can teach us more about ourselves than we would have learned otherwise. It is in the waiting, it is in the suffering that God meets us. Advent is not just a waiting for God at some point in the future. No, Advent is about finding God while we wait for something to happen. It's in this space of tension, of anticipation, of waiting that we can find God. Not only in the Christmas day to come, but during Advent itself. In Advent, we find the divine, not just in Christmas. So while we wait for this pandemic to do whatever it's doing, God is waiting with us in this moment. It's not as if God is holding back their presence from us. It's not as if God is distant during this moment. No, the divine dwells with us here and now during our suffering. So be patient, my friends. I know life is hard right now. I know it's tough not being at school like normal, and I know it's tough wearing masks. I know it's tough waiting in this moment. But I think that's what Advent is all about. It's about opening our eyes to see the presence of the divine while we wait for some beautiful day in the future. Does that make sense? I know that's not the most encouraging thing to hear. That's there's not some magic formula where you can pray to God to get us out of this mess. Unfortunately, God doesn't work that way for whatever reason. So we're stuck in this tense suffering, and it sucks and it's terrible and I hate it and I can't wait to not wear a mask and I can't wait to hug people and I can't wait to give you a high five or a knuckles or even just be in the same room as you. I'm looking forward to that day. But for now, we're here. And I think this is okay. We're gonna make it. All right? We're gonna be okay. I love you all. You are amazing. You are worth it. And you are loved more than you know. Not just by God,